Professor Kilreth had taught xenobiology and physical education protocols at the Galactic Academy for 23 cycles. She'd observed the training regimens of 64 different species, documented their physical development programs, and compiled comprehensive safety standards for juvenile fitness education. Nothing prepared her for human gym class. "Ambassador Chun," she said carefully, her feathers ruffling with concern as they approached the Earth delegation's educational facility. "I must observe your juvenile physical training protocols for accreditation purposes. I assure you, this is standard procedure for all species joining the Academy network." Marcus Chun, Earth's education liaison, smiled in a way that made Kilretha's threat assessment instincts tingle. "Of course, Professor. Though I should mention, our P class is a bit different than most species. I've observed Korvax strength training and Theln aerial acrobatics. I'm quite prepared for." She stopped dead as they entered the gymnasium. A dozen human juveniles, ages ranging from 12 to 14 standard years, were grappling with creatures that made Kilretha's emergency beacon hand instinctively reach for her communicator. Four-legged beasts, each massing between 30 and 40 kilograms, with powerful jaws filled with teeth designed for tearing flesh. "Those are predators!" Kilreth shrieked, her translator barely keeping pace with her panic. "The children are being attacked." "What?" "Oh no, those are dogs," Marcus said casually. "Specifically, they're training with the therapy dog program. That's Max, Bella, Duke, and Shadow. They're very gentle." Kilreth watched in horror as one of the beasts, Max, lunged at a small human female. The girl laughed, grabbed the creature, and rolled across padded mats with it in what appeared to be coordinated combat training. The beast's jaws opened, revealing impressive fangs, and then licked the child's face. "I don't understand," Kilreth whispered. "Those are Canis familiaris. Your evolutionary records show they descended from apex pack hunters that brought down prey twice their size. Why are your children wrestling with them?" "Oh, that's just the warm-up," Marcus said cheerfully. "The real training starts in 10 minutes. Before Kilreth could process this statement, a human instructor, a fit male named Coach Peterson, blew a whistle. "All right, everyone, dogs back to the sidelines. Time for the obstacle course." The children lined up, and Kilreth felt relief wash over her. Obstacle courses she understood. Climbing, jumping, standard physical challenges. Coach Peterson opened a door, and 6 more creatures bounded into the gymnasium. These were even larger, massing 50 to 70 kilograms each, with longer legs built for pursuit and jaws that could clearly crush bone. Kilretha's database identified them instantly, more Canis familiaris, but larger subspecies. Breeds labeled German Shepherd, Labrador Retriever, and something called a Golden Retriever that looked deceptively friendly despite being a clear apex predator. "Today we're doing agility training with the K9 unit," Coach Peterson announced. "Remember, work with your partner, maintain pace, and communicate clearly." Each child was paired with one of the beasts. Then, impossibly, they began running an obstacle course together, the children directing the predators through tunnels, over jumps, through weaving poles. The creatures followed commands, moving in perfect synchronization with their juvenile handlers. "This is insane," Kilreth muttered, her feathers now fully extended in a threat display that the humans politely ignored. "You're teaching children to coordinate with pack hunters during physical exertion?" "Well, yeah," Marcus said. "Dogs have been humanity's partners for about 15,000 years. We domesticated them back when we were still figuring out agriculture. They helped us hunt, protected our settlements, herded our livestock. Now they're family members, working partners, therapy animals, and yes, training companions." "You domesticated apex predators? For 15,000 years?" "Technically, We co-evolved with them. It was more of a mutual partnership that—" A high-pitched squeal interrupted him. Kilretha's threat response activated instantly, but Marcus didn't even flinch. A tiny human female, perhaps 6 years old from a younger class, had wandered in and was now being enthusiastically attacked by Shadow, a massive black beast that had knocked her down and was wagging its tail while the child giggled uncontrollably. "Shadow, gentle!" Coach Peterson called out. The predator immediately shifted to calmer behavior, though it continued to show affection to the small human. Kilretha's translator made a sound it had never made before, a sort of static-filled wheeze of complete incomprehension. "Let me get this straight," she said slowly. "You took wolves, arguably one of your planet's most efficient pack predators, and spent 15 millennia turning them into creatures that play with your offspring during physical education?" "Pretty much, yeah," Marcus agreed. "We also bred them for specific tasks. Those German shepherds? Police and military work. The labs? Water rescue and retrieval. Golden retrievers? Therapy and emotional support. We've got breeds for herding, hunting, protection, companionship, pretty much everything. And your children train with them as part of standard physical education? Some schools have equestrian programs too. That's where kids work with horses. Those are half-done prey animals we domesticated for transportation and agriculture about 6,000 years ago." Kilreth sat down heavily on a nearby bench, her legs no longer supporting her weight. "You domesticated your predators, and your large prey animals, and you have your juveniles trained with both as part of normal development. Builds responsibility, empathy, physical coordination, and trust," Marcus said proudly. "Plus, it's fun for the kids." On the gymnasium floor, a 13-year-old boy had just successfully guided a German shepherd through a complex agility sequence. The wild beast sat obediently afterward, and the boy rewarded it with a treat and enthusiastic praise while scratching behind its ears. "Professor," Marcus said gently, "I know this seems strange, but remember, humans spent most of our evolution living alongside dangerous animals. We learned to understand them, work with them, even love them. We didn't conquer our world through domination. We built partnerships." Kilreth watched a small human girl throw a ball across the gymnasium. A Labrador retrieved it joyfully, tail wagging, then brought it back for another throw. The girl laughed, hugged the creature's neck, and threw the ball again. "The Deathworlders," Kilreth said faintly, "didn't just survive their planet. They made friends with it. Best friends," Marcus corrected, watching as Coach Peterson dismissed the class and a dozen children said goodbye to their canine partners with hugs, kisses, and promises to return tomorrow. Later, when filing her report, Professor Kilreth added a new section to Galactic Educational Standards. "Note: human physical education may involve coordinated training with domesticated apex predators. This is normal for Deathworlders and should not be considered a safety violation." She paused, then added, "Recommendation: do not introduce human gym class protocols to non-Deathworld species without extensive psychological preparation." The galaxy, she reflected, was nowhere near ready for a species that taught its children to play with wolves.